17. Oh, Phantom Pain is right, because the pain of never getting to see the Kingdom of the Flies mission haunts me to this day, much like how Big Boss's legacy haunts the world. Big Boss is a military legend. He is not only regarded as history's greatest soldier, but his legend only grew when he left the United States to create a sanctuary for disillusioned soldiers, a place where soldiers wouldn't be exploited by political figures, and would instead use their skills to fight for whatever cause they deemed worthy. Soldiers Without Borders, a private military company providing their services regardless of nation or ideology. They would eventually grow in strength to the point of becoming the world's unofficial 7th nuclear power at the time. And then, one night, all of it came crashing down. The original Mother Base, that offshore plant in the Caribbean that Big Boss, that we painstakingly build, is annihilated by a Trojan horse plot enabled by one of the most despicable characters in this series. Everything burned and sank to the bottom of the ocean. Somehow, the leadership survives. Big Boss ends up in a coma for 9 years. When he finally wakes up, he barely has time to process the missing arm and the shrapnel horn because someone immediately tries to assassinate him. It's like the universe heard "greatest soldier to ever live" and took it as a personal challenge. That's just one of the many things he would go on to fight through with his new code name, Venom Snake. If anything, the legend of Big Boss only grew bigger than it was before. Venom rebuilds Mother Base bigger than ever. All the while, he takes down enhanced super soldiers with that CQC mastery, prevents a pandemic of a parasite that activates in your vocal cords if you speak a specific language, and fights one of the most dangerous Metal Gears in the series. This is a straight up mecha, my dude. And the entire time he's scrounging around the battlefield for everything he can use to scrape together a win. But what else can you expect from history's greatest soldier, right? Except, all of those feats are not done by Big Boss. The secret ending to Phantom Pain reveals a nasty truth. The entire time, you've been playing as a custom character. A soldier from the original Mother Base who shielded Big Boss with his body during the explosion that put him in a coma. The real Big Boss actually woke up earlier than you, and to avoid being targeted again, he switched places with you. You were given facial reconstruction surgery and, possibly the most efficient use of the word ever, gaslit into believing you were Big Boss through some psychological manipulation that, admittedly, I have no clue how it works, but led you to truly believe you're the legend. For a time, because eventually you learn the truth. It's a bit unclear when Venom Snake learns the truth, but regardless, he chooses to stick to the mission. He doesn't run. He doesn't hunt down the real Big Boss. He doesn't try to reclaim his old identity. He continues to assume the Big Boss identity, becoming his phantom, and letting his real identity fade into obscurity. There was an unshakable belief in Big Boss's cause that Venom is willing to endure hell for. He does his best to live up to the ideals of the original mission. He cared deeply about the soldiers he led, and tried to make Diamond Dogs not just a base, but a home. That care extended to children displaced by war, giving them shelter and education on Mother Base. One scene I especially love is during the intro montage where we see Venom slowly get back into fighting shape as he travels to rescue Miller. There's a shot of him trying to load bullets into a revolver with his original hook prosthetic before being given the upgraded arm. It's a pretty sad sight, man. But I have to admire the fact that this man was willing to try to go into battle with this. It's insane, but it's that kind of tenacity that is required to live up to the legacy he's been forced to wear. And in just 2 weeks, the man went to work rebuilding everything that was taken from them. I understand that Venom Snake eventually becomes a villain in the wider Metal Gear timeline, and the Phantom Pain was meant to bridge that gap. It was meant to be a story about how men become demons. The inciting wound is when he's forced to kill his own infected soldiers during the vocal cord parasite outbreak on Mother Base. He alone assumed the responsibility of purging the base of the threat. Just him and the people who trusted him, dying one by one under his gun. It's a moment of raw, visceral torment that forever changed him. And even then, the pain from this moment highlights exactly how invested he was in this cause. These weren't faceless troops to him. He knew every single name. They mattered. Venom Snake's resilience is tragic. He survives the loss of his body, his face, his name, and eventually his soul. He endures being turned into someone else's myth and decides to carry it anyway, so that the soldiers around him continue to have something to believe in. We know that this dream of his eventually rots, but that doomed future doesn't erase what Venom did to hold it together for as long as he could.